What if the greatest obstacle standing between you and financial freedom isn't money at all? What if it isn't your background, your education, the economy, or the opportunities you were given? What if the real battle is happening somewhere deeper, somewhere invisible, somewhere that shapes every decision you make long before a dollar ever enters your bank account? What if the real battle is belief? Because every great achievement in human history began with something the world could not see. Before there was evidence, before there were numbers, before there were results, there was belief. Someone believed something different about the future. Someone believed when the odds said they shouldn't. Someone believed when others doubted, criticized, or walked away. And that belief became the seed of something extraordinary. We often think of wealth as numbers. We think of it as bank accounts, investments, businesses, assets. But long before wealth becomes financial, it becomes mental. Long before it appears in your bank account, it appears in your mindset. Look at any major success story. Somewhere in that story, you will find a moment where nothing made sense yet. The money wasn't there, the support wasn't there, the proof wasn't there. All that existed was a quiet, stubborn conviction that something greater was possible. That conviction is faith. Faith is not blind optimism. Faith is the courage to act when the outcome is still uncertain. Faith is the decision to move forward even when the path is not fully visible. Faith is what allows a person to keep building when the results are slow, when the effort feels heavy, when the world seems silent. And this is where the connection between faith and wealth begins. Because the person who believes deeply in possibility behaves differently. They take responsibility for their future. They search for opportunities others overlook. They invest time, learning, growing, improving. Their mindset changes the way they see the world. And the way they see the world changes the actions they take every day. Research in behavioral psychology has shown something fascinating. People who believe they can improve their situation are far more likely to persist through obstacles. They work longer, adapt faster, and recover quicker from setbacks. Their belief changes their behavior, and their behavior changes their results. But belief alone is not magic. It does not instantly create success. What belief does is far more powerful than that. Belief creates endurance. Because the truth is, the journey toward wealth will challenge you. There will be moments when progress feels painfully slow. There will be moments when your efforts appear to produce nothing. There will be moments when doubt begins whispering in your mind. And in those moments, faith becomes the difference between quitting and continuing. It reminds you that temporary struggle is not permanent defeat. It reminds you that growth often happens quietly, beneath the surface, long before it becomes visible to the world. Just like a seed planted deep in the soil, the early stages of success are invisible. Yet something powerful is happening beneath the ground. Faith allows you to keep watering the soil, even when you cannot yet see the tree. And that quiet decision to keep showing up, to keep believing, to keep building, begins shaping a financial destiny far greater than you may realize in the moment. But belief by itself is not enough to change a life. Belief must transform into action, and not just occasional action, not bursts of motivation that fade after a few days, but steady, disciplined action, repeated over time. There is a quiet power in consistency that many people underestimate. Imagine two individuals standing at the starting line of their financial journey. One person waits for the perfect opportunity, the perfect timing, the perfect conditions. The other begins with what they have, even if it seems small. They learn how money works. They study investing. They save a portion of every paycheck. They take small steps forward every single month. At first, the difference between these two people may seem invisible, but over time, those small disciplined actions begin to compound. Compounding is one of the most powerful forces in finance, but it is also one of the most powerful forces in personal transformation. When effort is repeated consistently, the results begin to multiply. A few dollars saved regularly grow into investments. A few books read each year grow into wisdom. A few calculated risks grow into opportunities that reshape an entire future. And here is where faith plays another critical role. Faith keeps you disciplined when excitement fades. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is spiritual. Motivation may help you start, but discipline is what keeps you going when the journey becomes difficult. Discipline is what allows you to invest money even when spending feels easier. Discipline is what pushes you to learn skills when relaxing would feel more comfortable. It is easy to talk about success when life is smooth. It is much harder to stay committed when challenges appear. Yet challenges will come. Financial setbacks will happen. Investments may fail. Businesses may struggle. Opportunities may collapse when you least expect it. These moments test the strength of your belief. Some people see a setback and conclude that the dream was unrealistic. Others see the same setback and recognize it as part of the process. They learn from it. They adapt. They rebuild stronger. History offers countless examples of individuals who faced financial disaster before eventually achieving remarkable success. Businesses that failed before new ones thrived. Investments that collapsed before wiser decisions produced wealth. What separated those who recovered from those who surrendered was not intelligence or luck. It was resilience. And resilience grows from faith. Faith gives you the ability to view failure differently. Instead of seeing failure as proof that you should stop, you see it as information that helps you improve. You become a student of the journey instead of a victim of circumstances. When faith and discipline begin working together, something powerful happens. Momentum builds. Small improvements accumulate. Confidence grows. Opportunities begin appearing that once seemed impossible. The path forward becomes clearer, not because life becomes easier, but because you have become stronger. And that strength prepares you for the next transformation, the moment when your financial goals begin connecting to something deeper than money itself. Because eventually, every person pursuing wealth faces a deeper question. Why are you building it in the first place? If money is the only motivation, the journey often becomes exhausting. There will always be someone with more, someone moving faster, someone achieving greater financial success. Chasing money alone can become an endless race with no finish line. But when wealth becomes connected to purpose, the entire journey changes. Purpose gives your effort meaning. Purpose gives your discipline direction. Purpose reminds you that what you are building is not just about personal gain, but about creating value that improves the lives of others. Look around the world and you will notice a pattern. The most successful businesses, innovations, and financial empires were not built simply to accumulate money. They were built to solve problems, to serve people, to create something that did not exist before. When you focus on creating value, money becomes a byproduct of impact. This shift in perspective is powerful. Instead of asking, "How can I make more money?" you begin asking a far more important question: "How can I help more people?" And when that question drives your decisions, opportunities multiply. Because the marketplace rewards those who solve meaningful problems. It rewards creativity, service, innovation, and courage. When your faith aligns with a purpose greater than yourself, your motivation becomes unstoppable. You begin working not just for survival, but for significance. And that significance demands courage. Every meaningful pursuit requires moments where you must step into uncertainty. Moments where the path forward is unclear. Moments where fear whispers that the risk may be too great. Starting a business requires courage. Investing requires courage. Leaving comfort to pursue a larger vision requires courage. Yet courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear. Faith strengthens that courage. It reminds you that growth often lies on the other side of uncertainty. It reminds you that every person who achieved something remarkable once stood exactly where you stand now, facing doubt, facing risk, facing the unknown. The difference is, they chose belief over hesitation. They chose action over comfort. They chose to trust that the vision placed inside them was not accidental, but intentional. And when you combine faith with disciplined action, resilience and purpose, something extraordinary begins to happen. The direction of your life starts to change. Your mindset sharpens. Your decisions become bolder. Your opportunities expand. You stop seeing limitations everywhere you look. Instead, you begin seeing possibilities. Possibilities in your skills. Possibilities in your ideas. Possibilities in your future. And one day, when others look at the success you have built, they may assume it appeared suddenly. They may call it luck. They may think it was easy. But you will remember the truth. It started quietly, with a decision that no one else could see. A decision to believe. A decision to keep going when progress was slow. A decision to stay disciplined when temptation appeared. A decision to pursue purpose instead of comfort. That decision, repeated day after day, shapes a destiny. And the moment your belief grows strong enough to guide your actions, your financial future begins moving in a direction far greater than you once imagined.